Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good week. I was out of town last week, so I've been quite busy, but now that I've got back, I thought it would be a good time to post another video. It is Friday, happy Friday. And if it's not Friday, then hope you're having a good day. And this is going to be part 2 of the tournament drama from my last video. If you guys didn't get a chance to check it out, I'm going to put a card in the top right corner so you guys can take a look. So this conversation continued while I was on vacation. I'm coming back to cover a bit of it, and it featured some pretty hilarious and pretty off-the-wall comments, but also some interesting ideas regarding the future of ARC tournaments. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with my idea, which was to look at tournament points, and this idea that you accrue tournament points based on number of wins, specific points for making it to quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, and then those points are not used for rewards, but for to determine who makes it into Division 1. So that could be an idea. Spork here is talking about the tournament store, this idea by Pure that I mentioned real quick in the end of my last video, which is used for rewards. If you get more wins in your tournament, you earn points, and then you spend those points on cosmetics, maybe map skins or other future kind of skins that we could maybe, look into. That'd be kind of cool to have like a map skin that you could buy, or spell skins, things like that. As long as it doesn't get, too crazy, too much rainbow. But that's a good idea by Spork, I think. 10 Piece is saying, still debating whether or not I want to be participating. Not a Wizard brings up, isn't D2 there to make tournaments more fun to other players as well who might not have the skill level yet? I agree with this completely. Pretty much hit the nail on the head. 10 Piece here is saying, objectively, I don't see the point of divisions, which is an interesting point, right? One big argument for divisions is that it kind of keeps the tournament moving. It's a little bit easier to schedule. You have less people per tournament, and you're also facing off against people who are of like skill level. So there's not as much just like noobs crushing veterans. So that's one argument for divisions. But another big counter argument to divisions is that you don't really have a lot of people. And if you don't have a lot of people, then you split tournaments up and you really don't have many people participating in both of those pools. So in like our 10 alien tournament that's going on right now, we've got 26 people, which is basically like, that's nothing. We can't even get 32, for a nice round robin, or like some sort of bracket where we can break people up into groups of 8 or groups of 4. So yeah, I tend to agree with 10 Piece here. We don't really need divisions the way that the game is set up, depending just because of how inactive a lot of players are. And he says the tournaments would be better if they're more frequent, shorter with rigid deadlines. That makes a lot of sense too. And he's also going to be MIA or low availability, which is true of a lot of players. A lot of people are going to be inactive and not really focused on participating in multiple tournaments over a long period of time, right? +1 on the video, Coevil. These Discord specs are kind of entertaining. You should collab with 10 Piece on the next one. If you guys want to see something like that, let me know. I'm super busy right now, but maybe we could come up with something. And maybe we could get together, go over some meta and ideas conversation, which, I don't know, maybe something will come up in the future. Of course, 10 Piece trolling, need more highbrow content now that Coevil is invading my lane. I will do a comprehensive linguistic study on Arcanist terminology. Alright, sure. Sounds fun. Need Coevil to talk in a slightly forced, deeper voice, and ever so slightly slower. And make more Discord read-along videos would be great sleepy time content. Nitpicking, by the way. Your voice is fine. You are close to having a good natural bedtime story voice. Damn, wrong channel AF, but whatever. Still waiting for somebody to send me book for tourney. Alright, there you go, Cryo. There's my slightly forced, deeper voice, slower voice. Not a Wizard here brings up a good point. I feel like Div 1 and 2 is just a way to make tournaments shorter, which I just brought up. If you want more players to compete, you're going to have to grant them some other incentive. If there's no reward in Division 2, you might as well just abolish divisions. Everyone will feel like they have a chance at a reward. Or maybe tournaments are just going to be shortened and divisions aren't going to be... veterans are not going to be facing casuals or noobs, and you'll have less chances at a major upset. Which, that's another argument against divisions, is that you have greater chance for upset, kind of generates more hype, right? So that's a good take by Not a Wizard too. I'll give that a late thumbs up. And Here's Strength Power DX. He says, so I stopped talking in Discord for a few weeks and everything goes to shit, lol. On the contrary, DX, everything was just fine. But he's back. Cryo says, go away, we were doing good. So DX is in here. I'm not sure he's read anything in the last day or two that's gone on. I could care less about a cosmetic, not an asshole like Goal here. Why not give first place due to the same staff? So he's referring to Goal being frustrated because he didn't get an exclusive tournament staff reward in one of his recent tournaments. He got the same reward that second and third place got. And he is so disgruntled that he is refusing to participate in future tournaments, and he's basically boycotting the game because he wasn't able to get this exclusive first place, like I think it was a recolorable staff. So that's what he's referring to there. Why not give first place D2 the same staff? So he's thinking, oh, this is just an issue of rewards. But in fact, just to recap Usman's arguments, he's not only concerned with rewards, but breaking this down. First of all, not getting a reward in Division 2 is one aspect of Usman's argument, right? Not being able to play Division 1 players is another aspect of his argument. Having to play consecutive tournaments to qualify for Division 1 instead of just being able to participate in one tourney and have a chance to qualify. And the issue with that is that it requires really consistent active gameplay, which, as I've said, most people don't really keep up. And then another aspect of Usman's argument, the last kind of big one, is that with Division 2, the way they're set up right now, you only promote one player, the winner of Division 2, to Division 1. And Usman is saying, more should be promoted to give Division 2 players a bigger shot, and also so they feel like they can play for a spot. It's like not an unattainable thing. After all, only one person gets first in a tournament. That's not a lot. That's kind of the Reader's Digest version of Usman's argument, but DX is a bit fixated on the rewards aspect. And we'll see how that kind of develops. Why are we ruining the entire reward system over a rant by Usman and 1v? Just give first place for both divisions the prize. Jesus Christ, the intelligence here is rock bottom. So much drama over what? So he's getting pissed for no reason. The drama's just a front, it's all the same sides. As for D1, you need to have divisions. It increases total quantity of quality games, and that's the most important thing. I could care less about rating, cosmetics, trophies, or any of that nonsense. So DX is saying, I don't give a fuck, I'm just here to have, Archmage gameplay. Elite, Gamer, MLG Pro, Arcanist, Esports, epic gameplay. Okay? Now, he says increases total quantity of quality games. That's the most important thing for him, not for everyone, right? I would argue that one of the most important things is to have maximum participation, which he actually says later, but it's hard to have the maximum amount of quality games and also have max participation. So he's kind of contradicting himself here, as you'll see, but he is right when he says, you can't have quality round robin system with 40 people, but again, we don't have 40 people in our tournaments. Our recent one had 28. Maybe our biggest tournament ever would have 40. We really only get to scrape 30 in some really popular tournaments. So I hope that educates you, Usman. Alright, I solved all your problems. See you nerds post-split. Alright, sure, whatever. And that's only so they can compete for their prize. Jesus Christ, give the prize to D2. Holy shit! It's not rocket science. So Cryo's saying, well, is there a fixation on the actual prize, or is that not really the point? Which again, I pointed out that that's one aspect of Usman's argument, but not the whole thing. It seems that's the issue. They want the cosmetic, give first place to the cosmetic. I only care about competition, yada yada yada. I wish I could play chess with the best chess players, but you can't. They don't want anything to do with you. Just give prizes. Stop being weird freaks. Nerds. Fucking nerds. Let's see. I gotta hum some music to get through this. Pure, you have 2 incentive systems, tournaments and rating. They have to be geared towards maximizing player participation. This is where I kind of don't quite understand. You can't have, the best of both worlds here. We need to have the top quality, high quantity of quality games, but also we need to maximize player participation. It's pick and choose. You can't have that both worlds. You can have good participation and, good number of high quality games, but, he's really asking for the extremes here. Not maximizing how much you stroke first place to third place Arcanists with unique cosmetics. And again, for the 50,000th time, he says, personally, as long as I get to only play high quality games, I don't give a fuck. And feels it's on the decline now. Yeah, tournaments are kind of on the decline. Kind of just goes with the activity of the game, right? Usman comes in here and says, damn, missing the mark by like 5 miles, crazy. Which again, I explained because he fixated on the whole rewards issue when really there's a lot more aspects to Usman's argument. It's not about the outfit pieces for the most part. You could get to Div 1 if you were motivated to and get to fight top players. Again, that's only one aspect of his argument. It's all kind of connected. I think one of the biggest things, I won't speak for him, but this idea that you have to participate in several tournaments over a long period of time and be super active. A very small percentage of the player base is really active for that long. You want to make tournaments accessible for people who don't play and aren't so active. Maybe just noobs want a tournament, you know? That would be kind of cool. Already beat the dead horse. These guys are too elitist and would rather cater to themselves than opt for better accessibility. Oh shit, damn. So Usman with that hot take. It's not really that hot though, to be honest. It's clear even the tournament official team is not on the same page. Yeah, this system is being pushed on everyone. And he's saying, I did already, I've made my point over and over and over. And so Cryo and DX are going to talk for a while, trying to dissect what Usman's point is, and Usman has left the conversation. So I don't know why this is even really an issue or even discussed. Both of them could just scroll up. I skimmed through Coeval video, got the sense that your issue is not having the opportunity to face top players. Yeah, that's part of it. It's crazy to accuse the top players of gatekeeping the top tourney when there's interest in the tourney in having quality competitive games, which would mean playing the best players regardless of who they are. So Usman's issue is not playing the top players or rewards. Okay, they're just going to keep going on and try to figure out his issue. If you're calling me an elitist, I could call you an asshole, but name calling gets us nowhere. Be direct with your issues. I just said give everyone rewards. You know, we're just kind of devolving here, and I guess we're going to call each other names, but name calling gets us nowhere, so we're not going to. I could call you an asshole, but I typed that out and sent it, so technically I did. So this whole combo plus Coeval Discord video was a hoax? Yep, like literally gatekeeping is an inherent property of what it means to have a competitive tournament. I mean, yes and no. It's different because you have a smaller community, and again, the argument for divisions is that we really only get 20, 25, maybe 30 people, and you want to, with a small game, prioritize really up in the participation, getting a bunch of new players to get excited about the game and involved in tournaments, regardless of their skill level, right? Gatekeeping is a good thing, okay, yada, 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 right? My alarm for work in 4 hours, 40 minutes got a AFK. So by definition, the quality goes down. If the pool is weakened and out of 10 people I play 5 are noobs, yes, that's lower quality. Name calling people seems like a common here, though. Usman calling people elitist, 1v calling people clowns or worse. Immature bunch. You know, DX called me an asshole like a while back, so I don't know what he's bitching about. Playing Slim Bill or Nevitz or many others is a waste of time. I think those people are condescending amongst their fellow peer group. Yeah, I would agree. I don't think that playing actually pretty much any player is a waste of time. I'd play even a noob in my first round, I don't give a fuck. 99% of art games are low quality. Stop trying to derail the few games in a year we get that are decent. Okay, that's pretty elitist, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of an arrogant viewpoint there as one of the top players. And again, his only important thing for DX is to have the most amount of quality games, right? So he's coming from a pretty slim minority of players in his viewpoint. So we're talking about 10 Alien a bit here. 10 Piece drops a couple books, which is kind of interesting. You got a couple book ideas for 10 Alien. Check those out if you are in the tournament. Might be cool. I used a similar book to this in Phoenix. Not in Phoenix, versus Phoenix in my first round. Maelstrom is pretty good on the map. The problem last time was a lot of the mid-table players complained that, let's say they get off to a rough start, afterwards there's no incentive for them to compete or keep playing. Yep, that's true. Having a peer group you can compete with and earn prizes should be the goal. The lack of rewards for D2 gave people a cover for trying to uproot the entire system that was myopic. Let's be fair to all groups partaking, reward winners for all. He's being a little hyperbolic here. Me beating Usman won't give me value as much as it gives Usman value. I don't know. It's kind of... we're a little bit like min-maxing the tournament, like dissecting game by game as if each game in and of itself has like an inherent quote-unquote value. I think that's a little bit too extreme. Yeah, if, you know, DX is going to face literally like someone who's in their first month of Arcanists, that's pretty extreme. But to, you know, dissect it to the point where, you know, Usman is a vet. Yeah, DX has more experience, and I'd say he's a better player overall, at least in 60s. Um, but to kind of dissect it to the point where we're looking at value for individual games, kind of weird. I don't know if I would have to take that stance. And Inks tagging DX, you'll see that's a theme. And here they're going back and forth. Tournament shop would be nice, and now it is actually implemented, so check that out. Let me know in the comments if you guys like the idea of a tournament shop if you've played Arc. We now have that system where you can earn points and get rewards by spending those points. And we're talking about who plays for rewards, and DX is jabbing Spork as usual. I'm much more nonchalant than people like Spork with rewards, and Spork says fuck off. I care about competitive games above all. It's fucking Groundhog Day in here, which, by the way, that's a good title. I'm gonna have that. He's gonna just mention that every 10 minutes. If people just make an effort to play, we can finish in December. We're talking about how slow some of these tournaments take. I really wish we could just make a bunch of different versions of one staff and get it upgraded the higher you placed, kind of like how WoW does it. Yeah, that's a really cool idea. I definitely support that. You get some kind of like basic staff, and then it's got like a cool cosmetic, and then it's got like two cool cosmetics, and then it's got like a fucking flaming wheel of death, that's for the top player or something. I run 2 companies, have a GF, travel every 2 weeks, and make time. Yeah, whatever, who gives a fuck. You nerds can put off to watch to play. That's not English. I'm starting my biotech company. Yeah, this game has been dead this time of year every year I started. Yep, because it's the holidays. 10P says, I heard 60 minutes is covering the rate split. That's pretty funny. And then they have this whole circle jerk over OA playing like no ret. If you haven't seen my OA video, I'll link it. I don't know if it's going to be at this exact timestamp, but check it out. It's a cool video on drop arrows and fire arrow, whisper arrow, kind of the TENS meta, TENS rush meta. And they're going to go on talking about no ret and arguing with all their energy about whether OA is a no ret light or not. Goal is AFK till January because he's boycotting tournaments. Okay, every great tourney system I've seen in every game I've played was based around the idea of a season. So this idea that maybe we have like seasonal rewards, seasonal tournaments, we have maybe seasonal rating resets. Again though, it's hard to really have successful seasons when you don't have a hugely active player base, and even a smaller minority of the players would participate in tournaments. Most of the people on Discord are just these veterans, like the 2Kers and people who played OG Arc. None of these new players are on Discord. DX luck is a real thing, yep. Okay, here's a cool idea. Pods is just another term for groups. So 4 groups doing round robins amongst each other. For seeding, pod 1 winners go 1st and 5th seed, 2 go to 2nd and 6th. So putting people in groups and then doing like a round robin within that individual group, and then maybe doing a second round robin with the top 2 from each group, or top 1 from each group. Things like that. That would be pretty cool. Harp chimes in with a pretty hilarious comment. I'm an elitist, I'm a sweat lord. I think the populist perspective of jerking off everyone in D2 to make their feelings better is saddening. I don't want to be inclusive, I want to gatekeep. Not because I want to be in some exclusive club, but because I want competitive integrity. This isn't the same as real life where people genuinely have huge gaps in opportunities based off the location you were born in. This is Arcanists. You can certainly get anything you want through meritocracy if you're good enough. If you're not good enough, then you don't get it. Unless you like to cheese with deduction. That's not meritocratic. That's pretty funny. Of course, he's being a bit hyperbolic there, right? He's exaggerating. This is kind of a cool idea by 10-piece. This idea that 2 winners from each pod or group go to match up randomly, and then this idea that they're going to be fed into a single elimination tournament. You could also do like a double round robin, as I said. There's a lot of different ways that you could go about it. Yep, perfect. Whoever's going to win is still going to win. Yeah, that's true of many tournament formats, but there are good ones and bad ones. The main argument I see for divisions is that it decreases the time the tournament takes. This one speedruns a group stage, the one that he just screenshotted that I showed you guys. Consider D2 a dark horse run. Yes, D2 has plenty of good players. Yeah, I mean, I'm in there. Goddamn. Come on. Well, let's check out this point. It depends who they lose to. I know that when Captain Smiggles played Harp, Captain Smiggles is a new player, which was unfortunately the most lopsided match in D2. He felt extremely disheartened even before the match, because he didn't feel like he had a chance, He did put up a pretty good fight, though, all things considered. But for those who lose to someone of their skill level, they typically take it well. I think that's true, right? It can be a bit disheartening to face a veteran when you're a really new player. But, maybe having more frequent tournaments would solve this issue. Maybe having a loser's bracket would also solve that issue. They go back to down to the loser's bracket to play a more like player in skill. There's a lot of different ways that you can solve that. IDK if Co-Evil is still participating or not. Yep, I'm still in. We're talking about the 10 Alien tournament. And it doesn't attract the most newcomers as 10s, yeah, because it's a steep learning curve, it's really fast, people are going to queue a lot if they're new. Not seeing any of the Elemental crowd signing up for this one. That's because they're all new, they don't know how to play 10s, right? Elementals is junk food, garbage, but hey, it tastes good for noobs to blow shit up. Okay, we see one side of that. You're all delusional noobs. Y'all chased Usman away and I won't let y'all forget it. I will now seek to hurt y'all the way y'all hurt Usman. Do not beg for your life when we meet in game or ask for a draw. I do think that Usman kind of got the short end of the stick here. They're not really listening to his full argument, and a lot of players who do support Division 1 were being a bit crass at times. He chased himself away. No, he wasn't being hurt. It's sad because I've never seen anyone here try to politely convey their point that many times without attacking people and still be misunderstood. I listened to the man, he was just wrong. Yeah, this is a bit too black and white of a thinking for me. Never replies to that troll comment by Harp by saying that he's a virgin, which is funny. Alright, DX is back, and he makes a nice point here. It's either dismantle division systems, and like the graphic 10p showed, we have fewer high-quality games, or keep division system and have people play with their peer group, but give all rewards regardless. Yeah, that's fair. But again, fewer high-quality games, not really a huge issue for me, because again, if we have more frequent tournaments, and also you're going to have high-quality games, you just won't be able to, like, I don't know, break out your Cheetos at 5 a.m. and be specking art games for 24 hours that are all 2.5k average rating, right? What is the maximum amount of high-quality games? Do we want 100% of the games to be quality? Do we want 100 quality games, 200? Like, what's the number here? I think Harpo and Spork are too extreme with hogging rewards. I'm not sure that's true. Goal takes it to a different level with how he only wants a certain staff for himself recolorable. That is true, because we've seen that play out. They're giving fuel to faulty narratives. Personally, I do think D2 should be rewarded more than D1. That's kind of a hot take. I don't think that's necessary. He's just trying to incentivize players in D2 to want to make it to D1 so that he can have more competition in D1, or just stomp the noobs and prove that he's the best. I'm still charging my energy, but I'll be back here to give comments in a civil way. I said I was fine with the tourney shop idea. This is true. This incentivizes D1 players to purposely be in T2. Yep, that's true. Rewards have never been the incentive, rather the enjoyment of participating and helping the community for me. Yeah, that's a wholesome take there, too. We haven't really considered that. We've got DX who's saying the competition is what drives him. Some people, the rewards drive them, right? There's a lot of different motivations. Did I watch a different Koil video? I don't think so. I only published one. But he's claiming that maybe people are misinterpreting what was going on in the Discord. But I don't think he actually read it, because as you saw, he was coming in here and claiming that Usman was only kind of fixated on the rewards aspect. Did you really watch all 40-some minutes? I doubt he did, but it's possible. What I absolutely hate is the way we have run single and double elim. I don't want single or double elim, only round robins. I do think round robins are awesome. Everyone talking in riddles, what's this mysterious point that nobody gets? Why isn't anyone just saying it? Yeah, we're just fucking circle jerking each other. And because Usman's not here, we're all trying to figure out what his points are. And we could just easily scroll up and see those points because I did a whole video on it, or you could just go rewatch my video. But instead, we're going to continue in Discord. Then we would have an honest convo. So it's not the rewards and not the competitive games? What the hell is Usman's problem then? It's like playing Blue's Clues. Jesus Christ. So it's Blue's Clues up in here. Jesus. Oh, brother, this is why Usman doesn't want to talk. Yeah, I tend to agree. It's been said 5 times already. Again, ages ago, I summarized what his arguments were. I just watched Coeval video. Thank you. I appreciate the support. If you guys made it this far in this video, by the way, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are on this quote-unquote drama, or, do you like the idea of a tournament store? Are you Team Usman or Team DX and Spork? Do you like the idea of divisions and not having a reward for Division 2, just having that reward be the incentive to play for Div 1, or do you want to kind of restructure how tournaments are, like Usman is saying, make it a little bit more accessible. If it's not about rewards, then why gives rewards at all? Okay, get rid of rewards. So is it about rewards? I mean, this is just a fucking clown fic. Jesus Christ. I don't understand the trolling. So it's both wanting rewards and wanting to play D1 players? He's still trying to dissect the argument. If Div 2 is supposed to be the equivalent of that, why make us feel like shit or like we're not playing for shit besides a chance to play for shit? Yep, that's basically it. I'm a competitive player, fam, not even a real tourney. And I said full storm and a bunch of laughing emojis. Probably not the best time because Calais comes back and is like, well, this is why I don't participate in these Discord conversations, because everyone just trolls. So I was trolling a bit there, my bad, Calais. Yeah, so I'm clarifying a little bit what DX was saying. You know, he also kind of takes a jab at Usman. Oh, he has too much pride and ego to play in D2. I mean, maybe. I don't think it's his primary motivation. That his pride and ego is fueling his desire to not want to play in Division 2. Like, he's not saying, oh, I don't want to be in this noob-infested swamp. He's just arguing that, like, he is a veteran and he wants a chance to play these top players, and the road to get to Division 1 is way too slow. So really, I think whether he believes he can win Division 1 or not is kind of a moot point. And of course, I just love this. Crimea River Div 2 players hate to be Division 2 but can't compete to go over Division 1 like me and Harpo. So this is the like American dream conservative viewpoint. Like, I pulled up my bootstraps and I grinded my way to Division 1. So you guys should be able to do that too. The whole back in my day analogy that I made in the first video, right? And then we've been talking about this for like 2 fucking days, hours and hours, and Pros is in here saying, oh, the incentive is making it to Division 1. We got fucking Internet Explorer in here again. It's just so comical to me that he's back. Why wasn't this an issue last time we did our tournament? Well, I'd argue that, you know, a lot of people weren't in Division 2. Actually, I don't think it was that they weren't in Division 2, but they didn't participate. Some of these people who are speaking out are not really frequent tournament enjoyers, right? But I don't really think that's a good point because we're talking about the here and now. I don't want to play Potato Chip 34 and waste my damn time. I want to play the highest level players. You don't have to. Jesus Christ. Ink already made me waste my time last Division 2 tournament when I knew the results. So glad we are all helping Koil make a part 2. Yes, sir. DX comes in here like, I'm too lazy to read all this stuff, so I'm going to bring it all up again to get clarification. Usman is right. It's beating a dead horse. I think everyone has made all the points they want to. You guys only understand incentive when it matters to you. I think that's something that a lot of people who are higher rated may not understand. Pro says I was Division 2 last tournament, but like he got to Division 1 pretty much immediately. And they also know that they wouldn't stay there because they're really Division 1 caliber. They just got thrown in there because it was like one of the early tournaments. Harp's opponents were all semi-new players. You have a major advantage over all the competition in players in Division 2. That's also true. I'm trying to help Division 2 out. I don't really get his point. Not sure how he's trying to help Division 2. Here's the 10 alien staff reward. DX here says, okay, make Division 2 play earlier and then D1 and winner qualifies. Again, DX coming in with the Internet Explorer take because ages ago we already laid that out as an idea, but we're bringing it up again for some dumbass reason. DX makes a good point again, this idea that you do a round robin and then you have to get top 2 in a group of, let's say, 4 to 6, and then they all do a round robin again. So you have a group stage, winners of the group stage do another. They're nice because they reward being a well-rounded player, that's true. If you do single elimination, you can just try to hardcore cheese a match. That's very true. Let's see, the worst part about divisions, lack of upsets, yeah. Oh wow, goal beat DX, big whoop, who cares, right? Who cares if your cosmetic or whatever is devalued? I don't understand what all the bitching is about. Really either make everyone play together or make some rewards for Division 2, but the people acting like they didn't know how it worked and it's been here forever, lol, I don't get it. Usman being one of the primary kind of arguers for this point of, you know, we need to focus on making the game more accessible, speed up the kind of qualification to Division 1, put players who are veterans in Division 1, and not make them have to take this long road to get there. He hasn't been participating in tournaments, so he just refused to participate because he doesn't like the format. Guys, let's start from the beginning, says Cryo. No, fuck no, please no. God, no, 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 no. So Spork responds to my comment here. I don't understand, though, this trend of calling people elitist for wanting to have a more concentrated pool of high-skill games. Perhaps it's a combination of that, but also how you come off in the Discord. Some of this can be lost in translation, and it can be that you come off a bit harsher when you're communicating online, right? It's not that I'm calling Usman, Coeval, Calais, etc. low skill. It's that the cutoff for the pool has to be some number, and it has to be merit-based. Sure, that's fine. And 1v is literally like screenshotting Google, and we're at this point just talking about the definition of elitist, which is just fucking wild. I don't know why. We'll gladly hear out Usman, Coeval, Calais. Bro, all those players have left the fucking conversation because it's just a giant circle jerk. We're out of here. Why would new players want to sign up for a tourney with no rewards? You think they have a shot at winning? Question mark. I don't know. I think the idea, even the idea that a reward is attainable, even if it's 1%, you know, that can motivate a new player to get there. Maybe they continually want to sign up for these tournaments, and then they eventually will get a shot at winning. It's about motivating them to just participate, right? So that they will continue to participate, get better, and then eventually have a shot at the reward, right? Bunch of clowns in here? Yeah, pretty much. I sadly feel a lot of this is coming from a place of FOMO from some of the D2 players. So Spork is arguing that, oh, Division 2 players, they just are missing out on playing Division 1, and it's such a privilege to play Division 1 players because they're so awesome at the game. So that's the kind of elitism, like that's one example. People are having a fear of missing out from playing the great Spork. Nah, not really. People like Pros and Harpo managed to climb themselves up to D1. That's because they were Division 1 caliber in the first place. Discord is fine, the users are bad. Yeah, in a sense. When we have these circle jerk conversations, that's pretty shitty. Doesn't really lend itself to being constructive. This user base just likes to argue with each other. Yep, this is the whole fucking point of my videos, is that I'm able to cover this hilarious content. We can't just erase divisions because a specific tournament might have less people. Yes, we can. We need a consistent structure in place. We can have that structure in place and not use it. We can just pull it out whenever we get more people. 3-month-long tourneys is unacceptable. I agree. That's bullshit. This shit should take no longer than 3 days. That's pretty quick. I don't think a lot of people will be able to crank that out so fast unless it's like a divisions format again, and where there's 10 players maybe. Also, if you have round robins and every player has to play the other player in the group, that's going to take a while, right? 3 days is not enough time. For like a small weekend tournament, yeah, maybe so. Oh, this is a funny comment. Lol Coeval said Harpo had a bone to pick with Usman because he called Usman a casual. Isn't Usman kind of casual though? Yeah, but okay, hi. I was more pointing out like the tone. The tone was pretty harsh. Like, you know, Usman's a casual, and that's why he doesn't have a shot at the rewards and should be in Division 2. One of the reasons that he could be more casual is because he doesn't like the way that tournaments are set up, so he's playing less. And he's disgruntled with the way that he has kind of been, maybe not treated, but just kind of how people have responded to him in tournament discussion and maybe other settings. And so then he's not playing as much. DX is playing his character. Yes, he is. Post-split, nobody will care for tournaments. Then they're going to come in here. This is funny. They're going to come in here and discuss the definition of sweaty. Like, what the fuck? Why are we even doing that? Does someone screenshot the definition of sweaty? No. Oh, here. Fucking 1B. Play consistently. To be sweaty, you have to do 7 things. Play consistently, rewatch and study where you made mistakes, come up with optimal strategies, use outside-of-the-box methods. Damn, we are really debating the definition of sweaty? Yeah, what the fuck? It means when you are secreting sweat, dumbasses. That's funny as fuck. I mean, the sweat function is a function of time. I don't sweat, it's all effortless for me. Sure. So, actually, this is another interesting point. IDKY, we rate 3 weeks to DQ Backstage Badger 7828. So what Nev is making a point here is that when we are DQing someone, Ink always goes into the TON mods channel and is saying, oh, we need to do a vote, like it takes some time, and then we vote on who DQs, who gets DQ'd and for what reason, and that takes a lot of time. When really, I think we should just instantly DQ people who don't meet the deadline, and tough shit, they didn't meet the deadline, you know. If you're signing up for the tournament, you got to meet the deadline, or if there's a specific case where, you know, you have an emergency or something, obviously we can adapt in those circumstances, but most of the time, yeah, we take so long to DQ these, you know, whoever the fuck they are, any tournament participants. That's a really good point. As we should, more DQs is not a bad thing. It will condition people to a real tournament format and standard. Don't be fucking late or inactive. I tend to agree. No, it is a bad thing. Let me clarify. I think we should have more DQs, but more DQs has consequences if there is a system that has more DQs than a tournament without DQs. I'm confused on how more DQs stops potential upsets. If Mega Man 63 shows up and beat Cryo, I got my upset, but if he's DQ'd, I'm also happy. Yeah, I don't think that's an issue. I don't think that less chance of an upset versus more chance is the issue. I think it's the idea that we want to keep tournaments moving, right? Mods despise me. I mean, there's a lot of instigating going on, but it's kind of a general statement just made to stoke some fire. DX likes to start drama. There are a large amount of players who are inactive. That's very true. I don't think Division 1 needs to be changed or removed. Division 2 should feel as close to Division 1 as possible, while only separating players based on their skill. I think that's a great take. Yeah, that makes sense. Most people don't bother speccing D2 games. Well, unless it's Coevil's games. Let's go, baby! Alright, let's see what we got here from Spork. I'm just saying I have a lot of respect for someone who takes the road of picking themselves up by their bootstraps and working on improving. Again, we even have that phrase. We even have that phrase in here. Working on improving to be at this level. I only see 2 D2 players who, as it stands now, actually deserve to be in D1 on skill. I'm probably not one of them. Sad. Based on my own perception. What would be exciting to me is to see new promising players who can rise to the top in any given setting, in this case low times. But it's sad that instead of seeing people who would try to complete with Cryo and Slim Bill, we see a lot of people who refuse to play instead. Well, again, there's a lot of reasons for that. Again, this is just like beating a dead horse. And then this guy says, I agree 100% with Spork, he's never said truer words. I'd expect the games of someone who worked hard to become that good. That's true. Yeah, we all want people to work hard. Of course, Calais does the eye roll because Harp is just trolling. Has anyone suggested having a group stage before each tournament and seeding the group? Each group has 1 D1 player, 2 D2 players, 1 unranked player. Oh, this is interesting. That's cool. Top 2 from each group advance, so if both D2 players beat the D1 player, they'll be in the main bracket. Of course, Harp says nah, because if he gets eliminated, he's going to be fucking raging his head off in the Discord, right, Harp? I know you're seeing this. You're on minute 51 or however long. Actually, I'm going to edit and cut a lot, but I'm at minute 51 of recording. Guarantees at least 3 matches in the group for every player excluding DQs. Yeah, I mean, let's say we abolish divisions. That's how a group could look. You could have DX, maybe me, and then a couple noobs, right? So like a D2 player, DX a D1 player, and then a couple unranked players, right? So that's how it could look if you abolish divisions. Maybe it's based on like a tournament elo or a rating. Say if the D2 players beat the D1 player, is the D1 player out? Correct. How did Nev ever get D2? He didn't do well, wasn't trying in a few of the previous tournaments, which is the basis of what I made the initial divisions on. Then in season 16 he beat out 2Easy and me. Nevitz didn't do very well. He threw kind of a tournament a bit, and then he comes in, and of course he's in Division 2, but he's Division 1 caliber, so he just melts through everyone in the 10 alien tournament, and he's Division 1 now. It would be nice if tourney participants were given the ability to create tournament lobbies. 80% of the time there's no TO on, and it's a shit show tracking stuff. Yeah, I don't know about 80%. That's a fine point. Anyway, guys, I wanted to just scroll through. I will do some editing to cut all this up, but hope you guys enjoyed this video. It really started with DX coming in and kind of assuming that the bulk of Usman's argument was about rewards and kind of throwing out some insults and stuff and kind of just being a little bit wild, you know, stoking some fire, starting some drama. But I hope you guys enjoyed part 2. It's really been quite the circle jerk in this Discord with a lot of just repeated points, and you know, they're really exhausted over time. So I wish we could kind of be a bit more concise and just kind of let sleeping dogs lie. We already said our piece, let's just move on. But people get too wrapped up in wanting to respond, or maybe they get offended because their argument wasn't, you know, validated, or they're not being understood, right? Which can happen. You know, it's Discord, we're online. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments below. I'm going to hopefully cover some of the rate split in the future in the 10 alien tournament that I'm participating in Division 2, by the way, as well. That's about it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Peace out.